I mean, when you heard the title Halloween Ends, did you actually think that was going to be the end? What's up, you guys? Nick here at the Lost River Drive-In, and I'm here to get in on the rat race of the news coming out of the Halloween franchise and the future of said franchise. Been a busy couple days for me, so I wasn't able to get on it immediately when it came out, but I know that you guys, like me, being Halloween fans, you don't really care. If it takes a day for me to cover it, whatever. You know I'm going to cover it. I'm a Halloween guy. So, a couple months back, you might have heard me on a live stream with Justin talk about that there were rumors of an announcement coming at Halloween 45 Years of Terror. I said those rumors, from what I had been hearing, were centering around a video game and potentially a television series. I didn't know what universe the television series would be in, who would be behind the series, anything like that. I had no idea. And as far as a video game goes, that was just rumblings that I had heard. There was nothing concrete about that. But it was definitely something I had heard. I think both of those scoops are now looking pretty good, but let me explain. So first off, obviously Halloween Ends comes out. Blumhouse's deal with Trancas to do 3 Halloween movies is over now. The rights are back with Trancas solely, and Malick starts taking pitches. It was reported months ago that Malick was actively taking pitches for the future of the Halloween franchise. Sean Clark told me that a year ago. He told me right after Ends came out, Malick was already taking pitches. Like, he's in the business to make money. So if people have good ideas and they're willing to pay for it, he's going to listen to them. So that's where it was at. Well, Bloody Disgusting broke the news yesterday that there was a bidding war going on with the Halloween franchise. There were multiple entities in on the bidding. Now, a lot of people immediately were like, oh my God, movies, like, what are we talking about here? And who's bidding? Paramount's name got thrown around. I had heard Paramount myself. I can tell you right now that Paramount absolutely is interested. They are interested, but they have currently not bid. They currently have not bid. I can tell you that very, very confidently. They're interested. They're waiting to see how it shakes out with the 2 top bidders right now. Now, who were those top 2 bidders? Well, we found that out today. Bloody Disgusting did a follow-up write-up about this story, and those 2 top bidders are A24 and Miramax. Now, obviously, Miramax has worked with the Halloween franchise since Halloween 6, all the way up until Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and in little ways since then. They've kind of always had their hand in it since the 90s, but have never, I don't know, they're not really seen as like a huge force anymore. But they apparently really want to do Halloween again. A24 obviously now making a name for themselves with Talk to Me, about to break $70 million worldwide, and many other hits they've had, Hereditary, Midsummer. They're wanting to get in on it too, and I don't blame them. They're really starting to become a studio that is starting to generate some good profit, and they're able to put out bids on these properties, and good for them. It's nice to see them doing so well. It's really nice to see that. So what does it all mean? Well, what it means is currently it's for television rights that we know of. It's for, I would assume, streaming, whether it's a show, whatever it might be. That's what it sounds like it's mainly focused on right now. I told you guys a couple months ago I had heard about a draft for Halloween 3's universe, a 6-episode series in that universe that was being pitched to Malick that he had shown interest in. I didn't know what studio it was from. I didn't know if it was something that was actually viable that was going to happen. I didn't know any of that. I simply just knew I heard that this was a thing. Well, now let's put 2 and 2 together. A24, they like to do a little bit of highbrow, like to do a little bit of the weird. They dabble in the symbolic and messaging and metaphorical. Going the anthology route with Halloween would make total sense, and hearing that there's a treatment out there for that would make total sense to come from A24. Again, speculation that they are behind that draft. But I can tell you for a fact that is true, and multiple news sources were reporting it yesterday on social media, one of which reached out to me before he did his write-up on it for the information that I had about it, and I kindly gave it to him. But source me next time, please, guys, because that was me. That was my scoop. Then as far as the video game rumor goes, this is kind of interesting because I haven't heard a lot of people talk about this on social media, but after I heard the rumor myself, I was like, that would make sense. We've never really seen that with Halloween, and that's kind of slowly really starting to become a trend here in the horror scene of these, classic franchises getting video games. It's honestly been really cool to see. And Wes from Gun Media re-quoted, like he quote tweeted the post about the rights being up for grabs with an eyeball emoji. And I was like, Gun Media, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Wes from Gun Media showing interest. I heard rumors about video game. I'm just telling you guys, look, a lot of times I wait to say certain things before there is more clarity on them, but I think I'm looking pretty damn good with some of these scoops right now, and I'm looking forward to it. I really, really am. But what is that to say? What is all of that to say? Halloween was never dead. It was never going to stay dead. These companies are going to want it. They're going to want to put this product out there because it's a moneymaker. It's just what it is. If you get your hands on a property like this, even a movie that is so split amongst the fans and does day and date, still doing over $100 million at the box office, it's a moneymaker. Do you think any of these studios would look at this property being out there and the owner of said property going, come on, someone give me your pitches, let's make some shit, then none of them, they wouldn't jump at it? Of course they're going to. Of course they want to. And of course, I expect this to happen relatively soon. But that just kind of leaves me with, what do I want to see out of these two entities that are currently leading the pack in the bidding war right now? I got to be honest with you, I'm torn. I am really, really torn. First, Miramax, I don't think they give a shit enough about the product that they make anymore. You know, maybe 2 decades ago, I was cool with it, you know, back in the peak of Scream and whatnot. But now, I mean, how often do you even really hear about Miramax? And if Miramax had the rights to Halloween, like they pretty much did after Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 for years before they reverted back to Trancas, why didn't they make another movie? Why didn't they make a series, a video game, anything? They just sat on the rights. They love to do that. Dimension, Miramax, whatever you want to call it, they did the same with Hellraiser. Right before the rights would lapse, they would just make a shitty movie straight to DVD so they could keep the rights because they didn't actually care about the property they had. So I kind of don't want to see Miramax get these rights. I really, really don't, because I think they just want to sit on them to maybe even flip them later for twice what they bought them for. And yeah, not interested in that. A24 is interesting because I'm not an A24 hater. They have some bangers, some great movies. Some of my favorite horror movies of the last decade, X and Hereditary being right up there. Those are both A24 films. I adore those films. They also have some movies that are hit or miss for me. I mean, I think they're a studio that sometimes tries a little bit too hard to be a little bit too different and sometimes falls flat on their face for me. But all of that considered, I mean, I'd be okay with it, I guess, but I do worry that they would try to get a little too weird with it, try to think a little bit too far outside of the box, and I just don't know if we should be doing that with Michael Myers. Now, some might say, well, if they go the anthology route, it makes complete sense. You know, that's right, and it's right in their wheelhouse. I will say this for the 1500th time, and I'm not going to say it anymore. If you are going to build on the universe that Halloween 3 created, whether it be a prequel or a sequel to Halloween 3, whether it be building in the world of Santa Mira, California, or Silver Shamrock, or whatever it is, I'm down with it. If you want to do any other anthology with Halloween, I don't care. I simply do not care. That is not something I want to see. We dabbled in the anthology with it with Halloween 3, and it worked for the most part for a lot of fans. There is a rich world there to tap into. Conal Cochran's past. What happened after the events of that 82 film? Did Dr. Chalice survive? Did he stop it? What was the fallout from that? There are so many ways you could go with that. That is already ripe for the picking. Like, you don't need to create a new anthology story with Halloween. So if you're doing anthology, build off Halloween 3, or don't do it at all. It should be that or Michael Myers. Nothing else. And I'm going to remain firm on that. I simply do not want to see anything else in that vein. Now, where would I want it to go? Personally, Paramount. But I can tell you right now that with 100% certainty, they have not currently bid. They have expressed their interest. Yes, they have not bid. They're waiting to see how it shakes out. Paramount's got more money than both of these companies. So if A24, say their highest bid is like $100 million or something like that, which is a pretty high bid. If Paramount goes, okay, so that's the highest bid, we can do better than that. Maybe they swoop in at the 11th hour and get it. I would love that. Absolutely love that. Because Paramount, I feel like, is a company that cares about putting new movies out. A company that cares about putting their movies out on physical media in a bunch of different formats as much as they can. I want to see a company like that have the rights to a franchise that I love so much because I want to see product from that franchise. And I want somebody to hold on to it and do nothing with it. But if we're to believe, and I do trust Brad from Bloody Disgusting, he's never steered me wrong. If we are to believe that A24 and Miramax are the two entities right now that are currently bidding, I'd rather be A24. But if I had my druthers, it'd be Paramount above all else. But I want to hear what you guys think down below. What do you want to see happen with the Halloween franchise? Who do you want to see it go to? And what do you want to see them do with it from that point forward? Everything and anything. Discuss it down below in the comments section with me. Please leave a like on this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. This is Nick at the Lost River Drive-In, and I am pulling out.